I'm here with a very experienced grandmaster from Russia. His name is Andrei Deviatkin, and we are honored to have him in the studio. Welcome, Andrei.
Oh, thank you.
Andrei, today you're going to show us one of your, would you call it a favorite game?
I don't think I can call it strictly my favorite game, but it was definitely one of my favorite games. I was still and I am. The year it was played, and I bet a very strong gem in Ernesto Inarkiev, or rather Inarkiev.
Yes, Ernesto Inarkiev is a very strong player.
Yes, back then he was 2600, now he is 2700. Yes, so I was happy to beat him in it was quite an atypical game, let's say.
Okay, so shall we go over the game? You are playing with the black pieces.
Yes.
And
could you flip, please?
okay, let's flip the board so that we have the black on this side.
Yes, so it was an anti-Maron variation, and yeah, the point is that he played a line which was fashionable back then, the G4 move. And what I like about this game, that I managed to play an idea which I basically found at home, but maybe the youngest generation of players doesn't know how to find novelties without a computer. So this one was found obviously without any computer.
You found this novelty without
yes,
a computer?
Because it was 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago.
Wow.
And yes, there were times you would sit in the kitchen and have a chessboard near you, and you can have I don't know, a coffee, let's say, and yes, you would just think and slowly try to understand the position and find the subtleties. So yes, it was.
This seems very unusual now when all that people do is press space bar.
Yes, for me, this what's going on now. It is quite unusual. That's why, to be honest, I can't often motivate myself to play or to study. I'm just when I was young, when I was the most excited with chess, it was an absolutely different game. So we were using our brains, and the computers. Okay, this year there was a computer program. I think it was hired. Actually, no. It's already Ripke has been around. But yeah, okay. I found this novelty many years before this game.
Okay.
So yeah, and now chess has changed drastically. So yeah, for me, my rating is now going down. Yeah, and if you don't have enough motivation today, you are going to sometimes to lose to the young motivated players. Obviously,
right.
Not only young, just the motivation is the key factor.
Yes.
So okay.
In this position, where exactly was the novelty, and could you take us through the process of how you found it?
Yeah, sure. The thing is that again, now a computer, an engine says that basically you can play many moves and you are not losing, like G4, for instance. But back then, I always was kind of. I found such moves suspicious because actually. There is there is seemingly no justification for such an aggressive move, and it's just creating weaknesses on the king side.
Right.
So yeah.
So that
and
explains.
I was yes. Whenever I saw such G4 moves, I was instantly trying to find some refutation. So that's why I was. Yeah, obviously. White wants to push the king, the knight out of the center by G5, and the knight is quite important, and the E4 square is, I would say, one of the the crucial square here.
Right.
So the fight is for E4. If White manages to play e4 somehow white should be better. Yes, but
Okay.
if black places some knight, black will be maybe probably better.
Okay.
So yes, first I play h6. Yes, bishop d2. Black, white wants to castle long.
Long, yeah.
Yes, and for black it's obviously very dangerous to castle short because g5 is coming.
Yeah.
Yes, if black takes the g4 pawn, obviously there is rook g1 and knight takes h2, take rook g7. It is.
This is very typical, and white gets good
Yeah, that's why
compensation.
white gets exactly good compensation. Also, the bishop on c8 is not great, probably. Okay,
Yeah.
and I played this move b5, and the idea is just that I distract white from his ideas, attacking ideas, and so I sacrificed the pawn, and now I play c5. So
So was this already a novelty, or was played back then?
as far as I remember now, I think Grandmaster Anton Korobov played it maybe almost at the same time with me,
Okay.
but I think we found it independently of each other. Yeah, so maybe it was not exactly a novelty, or maybe he played it after 8 rook g1 instead of bishop d2.
Okay. So instead of bishop d2, Korobov's opponent went rook b1 and rook g1 and he played
Yes,
b5.
probably
something
yes.
like that.
Yes.
Okay. But you went straight away b5 here and
Yes.
then c5.
Yeah, so and then now, if we take a look at the position, it is white who has his king in some kind of danger because after g4 it's not safe to castle short, obviously, and if white castles alongside, the c file is also ready. It is going to be open, and still it's white should castle queenside as he did in the game. Yes, but I mean the character of the game has changed, and it's very important to get the character of the game in your favor,
Correct.
the initiative, let's say, or the type of position you want, actually.
Right.
So yeah, and of course he's a good player, so he found some.
But it's already like you have started creating play on the queen side, and his king
Yes.
is in great danger.
Okay, it is not in great danger, because if we take a closer look at the position, black has the problem is black has not enough pawns to attack. So, but yes, obviously it looks more comfortable for black. At least it looks like this.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there were some. Most probably I was not. I did not find the most precise moves. Actually, it's not totally clear how I maintained the pressure here. So I decided to some prophylactic move maybe against
Yeah, king f8.
to protect the pawn.
Yes.
And
So what according to you is the way in which black has to play? Like you played rook h4 and you're happy with this entire.
okay, then back then I thought I did not find anything to play for an advantage, and I decided if he plays knight f3, rook h8. But actually, as far as I remember, rook h5 was knight f3, rook h5 was better.
I mean rook
h4, knight f3, rook h5. Maybe rook goes to f5 at some point. Maybe black can try some different things like knight e4 and a6. I mean, it's complicated, but
Yeah.
black has some ways to play for a win. But okay, we should not forget that white has an extra pawn also. So
Yeah.
so I was an IM, and I decided that the draw with black in a team championship would be okay. So, but he was.
But he wanted to play for a win.
Yes, he always wants to play for a win.
94.
Now, actually, he started to outplay me a little bit. So, and as I'm I know that I'm not so good in calculation, and I have never been actually. So I decided that I will simplify and go into an endgame.
So endgame is your forte, you mean?
Well, it was, at least it was, yeah. I mean, it's not easy to play, let's say, when I have to calculate some possibilities of being checkmated all the time. Yeah. Okay, the interesting point is about this endgame, and actually the point of my novelty is that it was a long-term idea. So if we take a look, white still has an extra pawn, but black is better in the center. And as we'll see in the game, the pawns were just at some point they became unstoppable.
Yeah, you have this central mass of pawns.
Exactly, the mass of pawns. Yes.
And although white has perhaps a majority here, they are not so easy to mobilize.
Absolutely right. Yes. So yes, he made some active moves, and yes, it seems like black is pawn down, and the initiative is already white has already got the initiative, but in fact it's black is very solid, and as I said, the pawns are very dangerous.
It's like Benko, yeah, somehow.
Long-term compensation. Yeah.
And you're exchanging pieces. It's like you're not following the traditional rules.
Yes, yes. But okay, again, if we take a look, black wants to display g5, f5, and then if f4, e3, it is. Yes, and now he became quite short on time actually, and me too. So we both. And now interesting things started to happen.
And you sacked another pawn.
Yeah, here. G5. Yeah. So after h4, I just pay no attention. I play g5 because I will take it.
So if he were to take here,
king g6.
King g6.
First maybe rook h. No. Okay, king g6. I think.
And then you take on g5. And your
yes,
king
I take on g5, and my king is much more active than his. Yeah. Also, the d5 square is a good blockade point, let's say.
So bishop e2, f5.
Yes, and bishop d5. So it's much easier to play with the
black pieces.
But at least back then, when people were less
mechanical,
less courageous, less mechanical than now. Yes, because now too many things depend on concrete calculation. If it works, or either it works or not.
Right.
So back then we used some terms like easier to play. Okay, let's say now
unclear sign was more common.
Yeah, there's compensation for the pawn. Yeah. But okay, now it also exists, but to not to that extent, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yes, and a4 is I think is a blunder or something, because yes, it gives me this b4 square, so it was a blunder in time trouble, which I did not use actually.
So here you could have given this check.
No, rook c8 is a good move.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to mate, checkmate, bishop b4 and bishop b3. Yeah, now. Yes, after b3 there was a win which I did not find. Actually, black is white is almost
mated. Yeah.
Yes, getting
bishop
mated.
d2
So yes, e5 was the move, and which I did not see. Yes.
Wow, that's a pretty move.
Yes, distraction from.
And if he takes with the bishop,
then bishop d2 works.
And now
e3
you get
and
the
rook
e3
c1.
check.
Yes.
That's very nice.
Yes, but you know, the time control, I think, I'm not sure there was an increment even. So,
okay.
Yeah, such thing happens.
Right, and if you take with the e-pawn, then
mate
it's
in one.
a
Yes.
nice mate. Okay. But you played rook b2, which also looks pretty normal.
It looks pretty normal, but then, you know, when you play against 2600 players, you need to be precise. Otherwise, then after this, it took me a great effort to win the game after the time trial was over. Actually, another interesting point is when Inarkiev always somehow he blunders. He blunders in time trouble, I think, quite often. But somehow his opponents don't manage to see to use it. So it's a very interesting psychological thing. I mean, to blunder in such a way that the opponent doesn't notice.
Nice. By the way, this move of yours, bishop d2, is quite interesting. I mean, it's a simple tactic, but it is a nice way to remove the blockade in a way.
Yes, it is. The point is that here the position is white could have defended this. It's still black has the initiative, but white could have saved. Are you recording the screen?
Yes.
Yes, bishop d2 is a nice move, but here I think instead of the obvious move
King
f1, which loses, it's not still far from easy, but as far as I remember, there was a study like salvation, like bishop f4.
And then if you take king
f1,
f1,
bishop c4, and looks like black is winning, but I think bishop e5, king g8, and rook h8, king f7, and as far as I remember, just rook h6 is the move which makes a draw.
I was thinking you would keep giving checks, but
and then the king escapes to g5.
g5. Yeah, maybe he just goes and takes the pawn on g5 here.
At rook h6, and it seems that, as far as I remember, black cannot win this, and black has to repeat.
But if I take
bishop f king g4 to f3.
Yeah, this seems winning for black. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but this move which you suggested here, rook h6, is it's very interesting. But what if I just remove my bishop to somewhere like?
Oh, then you are risking the g6. I think. Wait, I think g6. Yes. The king must go to. Okay.
And g7 and.
Maybe check first from rook h7.
Not very sure. Yeah, king e8 perhaps.
Okay, you can first of all you can give another check, and where the king is supposed to go, and eventually you'll have to. g7 is.
This should be winning. Yeah.
Okay, even if g7 is not winning, which maybe it is, but if white just keeps checking, then you can have to go eventually to d7, and rook h7 you have to play bishop e7, but then maybe already.
Yeah, that's very risky
g7.
already.
So at least white makes a draw, but probably white is. Maybe white is just winning.
But that's a nice trick where you. In this position where everything is kind of dangerously posted, you make this quiet move, rook h6.
Yes, it is really. Yes, it is a great move.
So rook a2, king f1,
and after king f5, bishop g3, the pawns are okay. It's still very tricky because of the bishop h5, but yeah, of course, after f4, f3, eventually. Yes, bishop a2 was also a good move, because if f4, then then just white keeps checking, and then he takes on f4, and only bishop f4 at once.
Bishop f4.
Yes, so this is I'm not sure who's winning.
Yeah. Not something that black wanted.
Yes.
So bishop e2, rook g6, and
now king e8 also, because there are if king d8, then black takes and white takes and plays g6, I think, and again black is probably losing. The point is against the strong gems, at least it used to be like this. Yeah, to win a winning position, it is also not easy. It requires precise calculation. So I remember myself, I was actually trying my best. So it wasn't very far from easy.
Right. So
King
king
e8, yes. And bishop g6, and now king d8. So the pawn is now
blocked. Nice.
blocked by the. And I'm one tempo ahead. Just one tempo.
And also the position is very interesting because his rook and two bishops are trying to get your king, and your rook and two bishops are trying to get his king. So
yes, d5, okay, but now I play bishop f3.
Yeah.
So otherwise, who knows what could have happened? You know. Okay, yes, because I want to play rook e1.
He defends
rook a1. Yes, so I play e3. As now, yes, the checkmate somehow comes by the pawn.
Wow, wonderful.
Otherwise, yeah.
Otherwise, bishop f6
bishop
is
f6
coming with
is
d7.
coming, yes.
It's like a mirror position.
Yes.
Oh, this was a very nice game for sure.
Yes, it was. I was happy.
And so this novelty that you found, I think, was truly a very nice one. Was it used later on by people?
Yes, it was. I think even Morozevich played something like this against Dreyev once. I mean, you can play b5 against g4 in different variations, like as we have already discussed. White can play rook g1 instead of bishop d2. So yes, also I used it maybe once or twice after this game. The problem is that g4 itself has become unpopular because I think there are more than one way to let's say for black to get a good game after this. So
as I see from the way you are talking, that you are not very happy with the current state of chess in a way, with the computers and engines.
That's correct.
So what's your suggestion? Where do we move to now in the chess world?
Okay, my suggestion is that actually I like chess 960 more than this classical chess. I mean the chess variant invented by Bobby Fischer. Yes. So many people think it's just not chess. It's another game. But in fact, the rules are the same, except there are some tricks with the castling. But the middle game is perfectly the same. Okay, the end game is totally the same. So you just play chess and you don't memorize too much. You don't, especially for young children, it's relevant because they have to also to study in schools. They have a lot to memorize even without chess. So yeah, and the memorization part will not be gone because there is also an endgame theory and a lot of tactics. So many players, I think they're just not used to this. So they say it is not. They just don't recognize it at chess. But as to me, they need to play. We need to have some longer tournaments. In chess 960, yes, and people, I think they will feel that it's a good idea to avoid this over preparation.
Then you can't find novelties like you did in this game.
But okay, now it's no secret that computer finds novelties. Not we are just operators, basically, even the strongest players. So whoever has a better computer, whoever has a better access to a cloud server, whoever has better memory. Yeah.
Sure. Well, we thank you so much for your time and showing us this
Welcome.
wonderful game. I'm sure the viewers found it very instructive, and we wish you all the best in this Delhi Open tournament.
Thank you so much.